My name is Sam Feltham, and welcome to the fourth session of the Diet Dunces project. With me tonight, in order of how they're ordered on the Google Hangout, first up is Rebecca from Derby. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm fine, thank you.
All good in the hood.
Plain
Good
blind,
to,
but
good, good
we're
to have you
alright.
back after a couple of months.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then we have Liz from Leighton Buzzard. How you doing? Oh, Hemel Hempstead now.
Yes, Hemel Hempstead
Sorry. I
now.
was going old school. I was going old school. That's it. You're good, Liz.
Liz from Hemel, that's it. We're fine.
Absolutely. Fantastic. And then
Thank you.
Anna, all the way from Angel in
Yeah,
North
miles
London.
and miles.
How are we doing?
Yeah, good, very good,
Fantastic.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. We're actually going to start off with you, Anna, because you're kind of newest to this whole experience of using kind of a low carb, high fat diet. And is this kind of the first month that you've been going through this process? And how's this past month been?
Yeah, pretty good. I started off really well. I found it easy to, I found myself quite satisfied with the food, so I wasn't finding myself hungry really, at least for the first two and a half weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problems happened maybe in the last week or so, where I've just started to pick at things like nuts and cheese, and really easily overeat on these foods. So it definitely caused a stall in my weight loss, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I've lost you all. I've lost your pictures. But yeah.
So you feel in the past week there's kind of been a bit of a stall. Maybe you're going a bit too crazy on the cheese and things like that, because that's kind of like a really common experience with that.
Yeah.
People can really kind of overdo it on the nuts and cheese. Kind of like a snack here and there becomes almost kind of every couple of hours, almost, and like between every single meal as well. And we don't want that. We do want some period between meals. We don't want excessive snacking and things like that, kind of causing all sort of detrimental biochemical reactions and things. You were saying there just before we came on the air that you were considering possibly just abstaining from nuts and cheese for a little while just to see how you do.
Yeah, I think so. I think also because I got into a bad habit of almost not having a proper meal, but eating nuts almost as my meal, but definitely overeating on the quantity. So for me, I think it might just be easier to abstain altogether, rather than allow myself a little bit and very easily overeat. So,
Absolutely.
I think it'll be easier for me to cut out the cheese, but I've really got used to, I think, nuts in my diet again.
Yeah, absolutely. Rebecca, you're kind of like the longest serving diet dunce here. What's kind of your experience with all of this?
Nuts. I couldn't live without nuts and cheese. My life would be dull. But well, I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit this past few months with running and things. I felt like I needed more carbs, even though they don't make me feel good. But I never really snacked in between meals when I first started. I would have my meals as such, and then I would only, if I came in from work and I was a little bit peckish, I'd have like probably 4 or 5 nuts, but not excessively. And I never felt deprived, I suppose. But I was just saying, you know, I've kind of not gone back to basics, but I've gone back to I still have milk, and I'm still on like a wide range of veggies rather than, back to the first 3 weeks of the plan.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised that I've not felt rough. You know how you feel, in the first week or so, when your body's getting used to going without the sugar and stuff, you start to feel a bit oof and a bit headachy and stuff. I've not had any of that. So my question is, am I better adapted than what I thought? Because I don't know. I mean, I did splurge a bit on the sugar and stuff, but I've found my willpower again, and well, I've just resisted. So I don't know. I'm a bit about it. But my weight's gone up a little bit, with the carb eating. But it's too early to say whether it's going to fall off. But my measurements have not really changed, which I find really bizarre.
But your weight's gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, but as long as your kind of measurements have kind of remained the same, then that's not a massive issue. But it's quite interesting what you were saying there with the fact that kind of in the beginning you weren't snacking that much.
No.
And that you were really trying to stick to the meal. So maybe that's something that you can try, Anna, yourself, maybe trying to stick to just the meals to begin with. And then as time goes by and kind of you achieve this biochemical balance that we're kind of talking about, then, you can introduce just kind of like the small snacking and things when you're kind of a bit more in control of everything. Yeah. How does that sound?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a really good idea. I think if I can get into that habit and that pattern of just the 3 meals a day.
I sometimes ate 4.
Yeah.
Depending on what I've been doing. If I've been to gym and things, I'd sometimes have 4 meals, but they were always like green vegetable based and with butter on and some kind of meat of some form or fish. But I mean, well, as Sam knows, I loved it when I was just on the green vegetables, and then when I could add other vegetables in it, were kind of a bit, I don't know whether I want to. I really enjoyed it, so and I do enjoy eating like that. It suits me, which is why I can't understand why, I've splurged a bit on carbs, because they don't make me feel good.
No, it's quite funny, isn't it? It's sort of like it's a real double-edged sword. Like, it is. It's kind of all in the head a little bit, and you feel like you should go back to it, especially for kind of exercise and things like that. And if you are kind of exercising quite excessively, then you can build up the cravings more and more for more and more carbohydrates, like very, very easily. So that's kind of why you go for it.
Yeah, and when you run with people who are carb eaters and and believe in the carb loading and things like that, you kind of get drawn back into it a little bit, into their way of thinking. And I bought the book on the low carb performance.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, I really enjoyed reading it, but then I kind of confused myself a little bit, and I suppose I need you, Sam, for a bit of clarity on it, because it says you need to be eating the fat, but not so much protein.
Yeah.
And that kind of were like, I kind of panicked at that, and I couldn't. I don't know. I suppose I couldn't. My brain's not scientifically programmed, I suppose, enough to get round that, to think, well, this is what I should be eating then, and this is what I shouldn't be eating.
Yeah. And well, I mean, it's kind of just a case of going for the fattier cuts of meat, and as you were kind of doing before as well, just with kind of butter on your green vegetables.
Oh, I love
things like that, So that's what that's all about, and then using that dietary fat for fuel. Yeah. Basically.
I do the coconut oil in a coffee, but longer distances, it upset my stomach. But then I was thinking, well, is it upsetting my stomach a little bit? And running and having an upset stomach is not the best thing. Not when you're far from home. But I don't know. Then is it psychological? Am I just worrying about my running and trying to put it onto other things?
But then at the same time, there is a definite transition period that you kind of have to go through to be able to actually kind of fuel yourself to your current level of performance.
Yeah, and I don't think I got through that.
So, you kind of do need to be, and you kind of need to push through that to get to where you need to be, basically. So a little bit of patience with that.
I will persist.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it's all about. And then for you, Liz, kind of what's your experience been with kind of snacking with cheese and nuts and things like that? Did you go all blasé, or did you?
No, I don't. I tend to weigh those things out. So if I do I love peanuts and hazelnuts, but I'll only stick to 40 grams.
A day, or
Yeah,
just at a time?
weigh out so that otherwise you can just keep out the pot, can't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to just throw them in your mouth. So I do weigh them out, and I kind of limit myself with cheese. I don't weigh the cheese out, but I just cut myself a very small portion, put the cheese back, and that's it. Don't keep going back. So that's a level of willpower with that. But I'm finding myself quite interesting now because, you know, I'm on 2 meals a day. Doesn't matter what day of the week I'm on lunch and evening dinner during the week, and then at the weekend we'll have a big cooked breakfast sort of at mid-morning, and then don't eat again until. So I think then, and that's when I will have a snack perhaps at the weekend. I don't tend to snack so much during the week. I just find it easier to get through the morning and that fast period. But I'm not really hungry. I don't get hungry. It's more a boredom thing. If you know, I just sort of fancy something to nibble rather than my stomach telling me you got to eat, you got to eat. Do you know what I mean? It's But at that point, I can kind of use a bit of self-control and know that if you end up just stuffing your face, it doesn't do any good at all. And then I have got and then on a Thursday, because I've got a girlfriend who comes and I make some chocolates with nuts, which is a really, really good snack as well. I use 90% chocolate and mix it with double cream and peanuts and a bit of coconut oil as well and butter, and make a slab. So it's delicious.
Obviously, coming round next week.
And that you can only eat 2 or 3 pieces of because it's so filling. It's very heavy because of the fat in it, the dairy in it. So that is a really good snack, but I only have that at the end of the week. So but it is a problem, isn't it? Because I know my other half snacks rather easily on nuts and cheese as well, and it's a pitfall area, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is, and that can be kind of like the real deal breaker when it comes to whether or not somebody is going to be losing weight on a low carb, high fat diet. Because that can really be a stumbling block for people. So I kind of recommend a maximum of like 100 grams of cheese, like a real maximum. And then with the nuts, kind of like 75 grams, maybe even 50 grams, kind of like similar to what you were saying there with around about 40 grams you were saying.
Right, okay.
So yeah, around about 50 grams.
Coming in under anyway.
yeah, there you go. So approximately around about there, in terms of kind of the amount that you kind of should be limiting yourself to in terms of
quite interesting for me. I find that if I eat 40 grams and I know then that's it, there's no more, I tend to eat them quite slowly, and then I realise how satisfying 40 grams is, and think, thank God I didn't eat 80 or 100. You know, actually they are quite a filling snack. So it might be worth
doing it slowly. So even not having kind of, you know, your palm totally full with nuts and going like that, rather just sort of like 1 or 2 at a time.
A little pot, and when they're gone, they're gone.
That's it. Or even worse.
That's it.
What I do.
So getting those little Tupperwares and saying, right, that's all I'm having, sort of like just that Tupperware, basically, and that's kind of the snack. And once it's gone, it's gone. That's it for the rest of the day.
That's it.
Sure. Definitely.
It is a funny thing, but I think whenever you're eating a diet, you know, at some point there is going to be, you have to instigate self-control. I mean, the beauty of the low carb is that you don't feel the hunger, and it's marvellous. It does free you from those, you know, the blood sugar swings and I've got to eat, but you still fancy, don't you? Even if it's boredom or you just fancy something, just want to eat because it's part of our culture, if you like, and our way of life. And it is easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah, very easily done. Very easily done.
I don't know, Anna, if you feel that temptation is too much, then you probably would have to go cold turkey and say that's it. Not even have them in the house, because it would be equivalent to having biscuits in the house, you know, or something like that. It's just
Yeah,
easy not to have them, isn't it? Available. If they're not there, you don't get tempted by them.
That's
So
it.
it
Out of
depends
sight,
if
out of
you know
mind.
yourself, Anna, whether you can do that self-control or whether you
I
think,
think
oh, God.
Yeah, I think it'd just be easier for me to not have them in the house. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Definitely.
Go cold, go the cold turkey, and go without
Yeah.
completely. If
Yeah.
the temptation's there.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
then you
Looking
give
at
in
it.
to it,
That's because
basically.
we're all different. I know I couldn't have biscuits in the house, so that's it. We do not have biscuits because
Me
that's
too.
temptation. So I can totally understand and see, where you're coming from on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise,
So Anna, what do you reckon? Like 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe even 4 weeks until the next session? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go. I'm not going to buy any.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. 4
Yeah, and
weeks.
just try and stick to the regular meals.
Yeah,
And
that's
things,
it as
sort of
well.
see how you go.
with lots of fat, so that you feel nice and satisfied with it. Lots of butter and
Yeah.
things like that. What about Sam? What would be your take on something? I mean, I've rediscovered. Not rediscovered. I never ever in my life loved celery, but celery with Philadelphia cheese in is
Yeah.
really delicious. I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, if that's what satisfies you, then
That
awesome.
floats your boat.
That's great. Yeah. If that floats
Well,
your boat. Again, limiting the cheese there. I suspect that's kind of again the type of thing that is quite easily overdone.
Yeah.
As well, you could
I don't do
end up
soft
sort of
cheese.
like having several celery sticks and kind of going through half a tub.
I've only have one.
Well, there you go. If you're only having one, then that's great. That's
In fact,
perfect.
it's quite hard work to eat, aren't they? They kind of slowly.
Yeah, that's
quite
true.
Slow, and it's that kind of. It's
You've got to crunch it a lot.
boredom thing, I think, wanting to nibble on something, and I thought perhaps celery with the full fat Philadelphia might be less harmful, less damaging than.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. No, yeah. The main thing again is, Liz, is as long as you're enjoying that food, that's the really important thing. If you're enjoying it and you're getting satisfied from it, then that's a good thing. So as long as you're enjoying that and you're feeling kind of satisfied somewhat afterwards, then that's perfect. For someone else, a celery stick is like, the devil's monkey or something like that, But as long as you're
like that a couple of months ago, I'd have said, "Oh, celery, horrible."
Yeah, what's that about?
Weird how your tastes change, I mean.
It does, yeah. And that's the beauty of kind of life. Kind of your taste buds change and your diet kind of changes with age and time and things like that. But that's kind of like the human body all over. Like we're meant to be eating a variety of foods. So possibly kind of the celery stick is kind of like not cravings, but your delight of celery sticks is something that's saying sort of, maybe you're wanting maybe a bit more cellulose, I don't know.
I was wondering if it's a craving. It was sort of searching around for something that was not as naughty, if you like, as too many peanuts. But and I was just surprised how much I enjoyed it. But I think when you do this kind of lifestyle for such a long time, your taste buds do change so much. It's unbelievable. You still get tempted by cake, and I had, because it was my daughter's birthday, she was 4, and we had the chocolate fingers and flapjacks. I had half a chocolate finger and I went, ugh, that's horrid. One mouthful of a flapjack and went, oh my god, and that was it. It was so sweet. I rejected it completely. My eyes were going, and my stomach even was going, eat it. The mouth was. I was really surprised at how, that stopped me in my tracks. Thank God. I mean, really.
No, that's kind of what it's there for, I suppose.
Yeah.
But kind of become your senses become muted and a bit dumb kind of after a while. Once you eat a lot of
I'm kind of getting that might be
then you want to get sweeter and
why
sweeter.
I like the celery.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I've recently actually something I've been doing. I've been putting cinnamon in my coffee. which has been
Lovely.
really, really nice.
Yeah.
So like when you have the cafetiere, you kind of put in the ground coffee, and then you put in a couple of sprinkles of cinnamon in with it, and then pour the hot water in. And
it's like you've lived in my kitchen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We've come to similar conclusions, Rebecca. Fantastic. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that taste, and I actually find it quite sweet. In fact, with the cinnamon.
Yeah.
So that's maybe something to try out too. And
your
whether it
hot
be in a
chocolate.
tea or with or the hot chocolate, you can
made with
have
water.
the
cream.
the cocoa powder, bit of cinnamon, and then the hot water and some cream as well. That's
lovely.
The first time I tried that, I was, thought, oh, it's going to be awful. We've all done the cocoa powder as a child, thinking it'd be nice, and it's like, ugh, so bitter.
It's really bitter.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be awful. But once you put the cream in, well, I mean, I tweeted a picture on it. I was so impressed.
Yeah. Absolutely. So maybe that's something to try as well there, Anna. Perhaps in the evening, because
I already have cinnamon sticks in my tea.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in like English breakfast tea, because I take it black, but cinnamon sticks is something that the whole family have done for. I'm not sure if it's a Greek thing, but
it must be. Yeah, no, that's really cool. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Lovely.
Excellent.
They're on the shopping list now, then, aren't they? Cinnamon sticks.
Yeah, chuck that on there for sure, definitely. And I do have kind of like a little bit of news for you guys as well. And this isn't going to be welcome from Anna, I'm afraid, because a company called Purition that I've been working with, and they've been giving us samples here at my location of Smash the Fat. And they want you guys to try them out. Now it's kind of ground up flaxseed and and almonds and stuff like that. So it's kind of like nuts and seeds. So Anna, you're not going to get them quite yet, maybe.
Okay.
We'll wait a month,
bless you,
and then you can get your one. But we have a coconut and a chocolate flavored one that you guys can try out. And you can have it with a range of things, whether it be with some yogurt, with some milk, or even kind of mixing it up with some kind of dried fruits, whether it be kind of like dried apricots or figs or something like that. Just to try it out. Basically.
So is it like a muesli? It's not in a bar. It's loose. Is that what you're saying?
No. It's literally just ground up flaxseed.
I can make pancakes with it.
To shake off things.
Yeah. It's almost like a shake type thing. So you can use it for a range of things.
Greek yogurt.
Chuck it in a Greek yogurt, just a couple of spoonfuls in a Greek yogurt, and it's really, really good.
Add them to pancakes.
Yeah, or even the pancakes as well.
Yes.
It's just a great mixture of it all. We'll send you those, and let us know what you think next time.
What the ideas are, that we'll invent some stuff to use them with, because that would be
exactly. See what ideas you guys can come up with.
Oh, they're always we have to be inventive, don't we, with this diet?
You got to get creative with that sort of thing.
Definitely.
And then if you want to check out more details about it, if you go to smashthefat.com/Purition. So that's Purition, just like nutrition, but with a P.
With a P in it.
Yeah, definitely. And then people can get a 10% discount there as well.
Marvellous.
Yeah,
They do protein shakes and things like that then?
Yeah. So you can use it as a shake. As well.
So you can use it as a.
It's like a high fat, high protein shake.
Oh, cool.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be nice after gym.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
And for anybody that's out there that kind of wants a free sample of it, if you come on the next Diet Dunces session, then you get a free bag of it, and it's a 500-gram bag as well.
Oh,
if you don't fancy that, no, it's not a little bag. It's a proper proper big bag.
Fantastic.
And yeah, if you do want to check it out and get a 10% discount, go to smashthefat.com/purition.
Oh, thank you, Sam.
You can check out all of that. So I'll grab your addresses on email. If you send them to me after the show, then I'll get them sent out to you as soon as I can. And Anna, if you send me your address, then I'll hold it for you for 4 weeks, and then you can get it on the next session, maybe.
Oh.
I don't want you to be tempted. That's all.
Yeah.
I think the ground up ones will be okay. I think it's the actual nuts that.
It's probably do you think it's the crunchiness?
Yeah, totally.
Maybe it's the crunchiness of the repeatedness. So maybe this is a good experiment, actually. So if we send you the ground up stuff and sort of see if that makes a difference.
That's true. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
That might be worth to look. So,
I used flaxseed. I made a gorgeous crumble. I did write it down with flaxseed in it. It was I made an apple crumble.
There you go. So there you go. There's your challenge for the next 4 weeks, Liz. I want to see a purition crumble.
I'll invite you round.
Yeah, please do. That would be great. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fantastic.
Need chocolate as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's a given.
Oh gosh, marvelous.
Did anybody else have any other questions before we have to round things up?
No, not really.
No, I don't think I've got questions. It's just slow going this time. It's always, as I said to you, I'm guessing it's my age, Sam. I think it's my stage of life, which means it's much harder this time than it's ever been. But, like I keep saying, I know, and like with you, Rebecca, when you eat the carbs, the wrong stuff, you feel so lousy.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. And I feel healthy and... so we stay with it. I would just like to lose that weight.
No, I'm the same. I'd just like to lose a little bit off my legs, please.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how it's but like you said, I think the inches. There's definitely clothes are looser, but the weight, the scales say no, but the clothes are going on a bit better. So there must be some movement. I'm not quite sure where it is though.
It's coming from somewhere. It's coming from
somewhere
for sure.
I've gone back to the gym because I've done nothing but run over summer, and I was saying to Anna earlier, I don't feel toned for it, even though I've run a lot. I feel a bit flabby.
Yeah.
So
I can understand that, Rebecca. If you look at exercise, I mean, I kind of I've been listening to this audiobook called "Move Your DNA" by this author from the States called Katie Bowman. Definitely check it out. But kind of her contention is that exercise is kind of similar to diet. So just like with diet, you want to get a varied amount of vitamins and minerals and kind of like all the macronutrients and everything. You kind of got to treat exercise the same way, in that you have to have a varied amount of it, with the walking, the strength training, maybe a little bit of running and cycling and stuff like that, but you want to try and vary it as much as you can.
Yeah, I've been to kettlebells tonight, and it's a while since I've done kettlebells, and maybe not tomorrow, but Saturday morning could be interesting.
Yeah, you'll be feeling that.
Yes, it'll be down the stairs on the bottom.
That's right. Sliding down.
Using the radiator at the side of the toilet sounds really gruesome. Assisted radiator visits to the toilet.
I can understand that. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. And then what about you, Anna? Any questions from you at all, Anna?
I just wanted to ask Liz actually, because I know you said you were just having 2 meals a day now. Do you have anything in the morning, even like a coffee, or just? Oh,
I have a coffee. I have a coffee with a teaspoon of coconut oil in.
Right, and that holds you till lunch. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I just don't feel hungry. Not until I can eat at about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Until 1 o'clock, and then I'm only eating a tiny amount, really small amount, really small lunch, like one whole avocado with bit of cream cheese in it, and that's it. Or a small portion of chicken with some olives and a bit of cooked tomato or something like very, very small. They laugh at me when I go to have my when I go to work. Yeah, go on, stuff your face, Liz, you know, because it's so small. But that's, you know, I just don't feel really hungry. It's that, I think, is the coconut oil. I believe it's the coconut oil anyway, and the coconut oil is amazing. You use it, don't you, Rebecca?
Yeah. In
you
coffee.
Use it, Anna?
Fry with it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I actually, I've even tried making the chocolate with it as well, with cocoa powder.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back to cream. I have to say, Sam, I know you said change, and I would not go back to the cream. I will stick with this now. I really like it. It's I'm doing it out of choice, not because
that's perfect.
It's your taste buds change.
That's it.
I have both. I have coconut and cream in my coffee.
Double trouble. I love it, Rebecca.
Well, if you were American, you'd have coconut and butter, wouldn't you? It's the bulletproof coffee.
Yeah.
They have coconut and butter.
They go for that. Yeah.
You know,
That's
butter
right.
in coffee.
Whatever floats your boat, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you know, it's so it works, and I feel very liberated from it. It's just I wish I could just be a little bit but I'm 52. I'm guessing 52, 5 kids. Perhaps I'm not so bad after all.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're doing well, Liz. You're doing well for sure.
Do you not think though? You know, because of like the guidelines that we're all fed of, we should have so many calories per day and whatnot. Do you not like worry that you're not getting enough? I know you feel full and things. See, I do it. I'm the same as you. I can do 2 meals a day. Some days I do feel like I need more. But I always, I don't know, because I've been, I suppose, brainwashed by everybody for such a long time, think, ooh, am I getting enough for my body? Am I fueling my body enough? And
I think, I mean, I suppose you have to go by your hunger pains, really. I suppose if you weren't, you would feel hungry.
Yeah. So your body will tell you you need to eat more, or you should be eating more, because like every other biological growth, you'll eat to your level of growth, basically.
I think I've trained my body differently now. I'm in a different phase of what my body requires, really. It probably just requires less than it did.
As doing a conventional diet, you'd eat your however many calories you should eat and still be starving at the end of it all.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right.
You know, maybe
I don't know how many calories I do eat, but I mean, I don't. There's quite a lot of calories in a teaspoon of coconut oil, for example, isn't there? It's probably quite high calorific.
That's it. It's kind of hard to let go of what you've been fed. Through everything, through the years, to whether you are doing yourself any favours, kind of thing.
Reading. I read and read and read and read and self-educate and try and learn more, and it motivates you, just keeps you going on the path when you just realise how it's such a good way to eat for your body.
Yeah, I do prefer it.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's probably it's the most sustaining diet that I know of, and the most satisfying, which is kind of, again, the most important.
The food is delicious.
Yeah.
And I just, looking at things like cancer, there's so much now with cancer and sugar. And how the cancers feed on sugars and Alzheimer's, and you think, well, I hope, fingers crossed, we're really doing the right thing for our old age, things like that, all sorts of things. I'm reading, I said to you last time, didn't I? I'm still reading the Barry Groves book, Trick or Treat.
Yeah,
it just lists the endless complaints and diseases and conditions that are probably due to what we have been eating, too many of the wrong carbs.
But yet people still frown upon it when you say to people what you eat. Like I tweeted to Sam once, people, they think I've joined a cult.
Well, you have. I think you have.
The thing is, though, like it's on the up, isn't it? You know, people are becoming more
Definitely.
aware, and you know,
Yeah.
us fat eaters, we are going to take over the world.
Yeah, it's
true,
the
yeah.
what's it called? A wellness renaissance, isn't it, Sam? There's
That's
a wellness
right. That's
renaissance.
right. It is. It's exactly that. It's exactly that. It's an uprising, and it's kind of like a pushback from consumers who are, you know,
Definitely.
angry from the way that things have gone, and hopefully, kind of this new wellness renaissance, as he said there, Liz, is going to kind of overturn consumer behaviour, so that, you know, all of the offers are going to be, you know, 2 for 1 on almonds and
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
Donut.
And instead of, you know, like
Donuts, yeah.
walls of Coca-Cola cans everywhere and stuff like that, which I see at the front of every single supermarket.
I know.
And
I
every
know.
trolley.
It is a dream, and I think we need to just keep going. And
Yeah.
at the moment, it is a little bit underground, though. At the minute, Sam, isn't it? You
It
do
still
still
is.
feel
It still is.
it's you
Coming
do,
out.
but it is that cult kind of feel to it, Rebecca. You're absolutely
is.
right. But
It is.
I'm very convinced. Very
Yeah.
convinced.
It's probably a bit more liberal than a cult. You know, there's no kind of true leader. There's kind of like a consciousness there, and you know,
no
people are
cloak and dagger.
independently doing it. Yeah,
No.
there's no foil hats, or at least not
No
many,
rolled up trouser
you know,
legs.
so- Yeah, that's
I mean,
right. That's right.
I mean, it is the best thing, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nearly a year since the Diet Dunces.
Yeah. Gosh, it
You know,
is. It's
since
coming
I
up
came
next
to
month.
London.
Next month.
And we had that day, and
Incredible.
you know, it's flown, absolutely flown by,
It
and
really has, eh?
you know that I am so thankful to you for that day, because
bless.
Oh,
totally changed my life, and it's you know, in the
That's
way I
incredible.
look at food, and you know, and appreciate you know the good things in food, rather than looking for the lowest calorie bread, or you know the lowest calorie low fat spread that tastes of
Silly, yeah. You think,
nothing.
God,
Yeah, you know, I remember having like wafer thin bread and having 3 slices and thinking, you know, I may as well have just ate a dog biscuit, because that'd be more filling.
God.
And
Well, you need to stick with it, Anna, because you've got a really, really good reason for staying with it. You know, it's very documented that knocking out all those awful carbs and lowering your sugar intake is a really benefit for it's PCOS, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you must really stick with it, and
definitely.
help you, and you know, if you feel that you're wavering at all, just let us know, you know, because it's really important for you as well.
Absolutely. How you feel about this next month, Anna?
Yeah, determined. I'm feeling better. I know I'm gonna have to make some changes.
Sure.
But yeah, still very much a believer in it. So yeah.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get all the Purition packs sent out to everybody, and then you guys can let me know what you think on the next session, for sure. And see what ideas that you guys can come up with. For sure.
Will do.
It's
No, I
always
like
good to
Sam.
hear
I'll
new
just
ideas and things.
I'll just end up in Greek yogurt or something. I'm not very inventive.
Yeah, it's all good. Sometimes simpler is better. Simpler is better.
No. Brilliant.
If anybody that's watching or listening wants to join us on the next Diet Dunces session, which should be approximately Wednesday, 5th of November, sometime in that week. I know it's crazy, right?
I'll have had a big birthday before then, so.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I'll be stepping into the next decade. Which is,
Oh Lord.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I might just have come out of hiding by the 5th of November.
Oh, you'll be all right. Have a great time, and congratulations.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, absolutely, Rebecca. People can sign up for free at smashthefat.com/diet dunces. And if you do want to check out all the stuff that Purition have on offer with a 10% discount. Go to smashthefat.com/Purition. And again, thank you to all three of our lovely diet dunces today who are more diet smart these days. I appreciate your attendance, and I hope you guys are still enjoying it.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah,
thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
No worries. Perfect. Well, let me know if any questions at all, ladies, and otherwise, I'll see you in a month's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take care then, Sam. Thank you very much.
All right,
Bye.
guys. No worries. Always a pleasure.
Night.
Ta-ra.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.
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 Bye.